unemployed.
Can I please have a jailbroken one where I can stimulate my brain as much as I want?
But what the hell, boy?
Not on camera. Hey.
Hey, Nathalie.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Excited.
What have you been up to today?
Honestly, gym and coffee catch-ups. Pretty much it.
Okay. What did you work out?
Glutes, legs, always.
I see.
Glutes, legs, abs, nothing else.
Got it.
Yeah.
Basically the opposite of what guys work out generally.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes sense.
Guys, upper body, forget the legs. Honestly, so good for focus.
It's good. Okay. Is there any links between working out and ADHD?
I think there is. Like, I mean, human and like all those people talk about like their focus and exercise podcasts, like walking. It's always good. Like, it's supposed to be high intensity interval training, but I hate cardio, so I don't do that. But yes, HIIT is good for you, getting your heart rate up, good for focus. But honestly, like, whatever exercise you can stick to is the exercise that's going to be like the thing that helps. But yeah, it will help your focus.
Yeah, I mean, most of the current solutions offered for focus are some variation of microdosing meth. What do you think's out there that's exciting for helping ADHD?
I think getting the basics right is really important. So like sleep is a huge one. Like if you can sleep 7 to 8 hours, you're starting off well. Exercise, hydration, like all the basic shit that everyone says turns out actually really true and good for you. But then yeah, I think there's obviously a lot of exciting solutions in focus. Obviously what we're working on at Neurode, biased, but I think that is super exciting. And yeah, and I think there's like a bunch of things people do, like coaching, with apps. I've not been able to make any of those things stick, to be honest. Which is kind of like the chicken and egg of ADHD. It's like, oh, I need to not have ADHD to build the habit that's required.
Correct.
To have all these other things work.
Yeah.
So what we try to do with Neurode is make it like the easiest, lowest effort thing to do to get better focus, because we all know how to have abs, but most of us don't have abs. Like, just go to the gym and don't eat bad food. But that's heaps of work. So GLP-1s are the preferred weight loss method. And
just like focus, abs are largely genetic. Low body fat percentage is a very genetic thing.
True, but like I guess GLP-1s is kind of the hack. And so like, could Neurode be
GLP-1s for focus? That would be nice. At what age did you know you had ADHD?
So I was diagnosed at 5. Which I think is pretty rare for women, because usually it's like ADHD, you think of like the little boy bouncing off walls and like disrupting everyone and being the class clown and like
that was
all
me.
of that. That was you. But for me, I was really inattentive, so very like spacey, head in the clouds, and if off with the fairies is like a very common thing that teachers would say about me. But basically, they found out I had ADHD because they thought I was deaf or blind. They were like, wow, which is like ridiculous. It seems ridiculous now, but they made me check my hearing, check my eyesight, because basically what was happening is I was so engrossed in my internal world as a kid. So while the teacher was talking and telling the class things, I was just like thinking my own thoughts, and my internal world was as loud and salient to me as the external world.
I had a similar experience where I think they thought my condition was a lot worse. My mom actually ended up working for a psychiatric hospital. She was like, there's something wrong with my kid. I want to be able to like give him access to a bunch of like psychiatric care. Ended up taking like an IQ test when I was pretty young, in and out of different like therapies. Tried a bunch of non-amphetamine based stuff, but I remember my mom was like, you need to take magnesium, you need to take omega-3, just giving me all these things.
It's really funny, my mom did the same thing. Like, she was like wanting to be as natural as possible, and she was...
Did she go into the homeopathy, like...
Yeah, fully.
Yeah, same.
I think that's when it's your baby, it's your child, and you're feeling so sort of hopeless and helpless, and you don't know, you're willing to try almost anything. And then I think there's a lot of people who kind of prey on that. So I know I went to a doctor who would make me like follow a plastic ball with my eyes for like hours every Sunday.
Oof.
Yeah, it was rough. And then I was obviously taking every supplement under the sun.
Yeah.
Turns out omega-3 actually is really good for focus and ADHD, so we shall stick to that one.
Are there any nootropics you're excited by?
Honestly, nothing really. Like, I haven't been diving that deep into nootropics, so I don't really know. I should check our WhatsApp, like our use a WhatsApp chat, people like sharing all the like alpha on all the
Yes.
different new topics they've tried, what works, what doesn't work. People have like they do these like CO2 oxygen masks and things like that. So
yeah, when I bought a Neurode and got into the like beta testing group chat, I saw so many familiar faces. I was like, this is exactly what I expect to be in this group chat. It was extremely high performing people, and then degens.
Yeah.
Like that was the. I was like, oh.
It's honestly the funnest group of people to be around.
Honestly, you should start like throwing party invites in there.
We really should. I've been thinking about it because everyone's like in New York, in LA, in SF.
Yeah, ADHD, impulsive. This is the perfect crowd
it's
for
people who know how to have a good time.
Yes.
And have like amazing stories.
Arguably, they don't know how to not have a good time, and that's kind of the problem.
That's what we need to help them.
Yeah.
Do just sit down and get some lunch.
But ADHD initially evolved as like a evolutionary advantage. Are you familiar with some of that research?
Like in the hunter-gatherer
yes.
times?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think it'll ever become an advantage again?
I think it can still be an advantage now, and it's like very controversial in that like if you dive deep into the ADHD like corners of Reddit, it's very like controversial to say that ADHD is a superpower, but it's also controversial to say it's not. And so like I don't know, here's my take, which is that there are aspects of it that are a superpower today, but there are like a whole bunch of things that we have to do in modern life that make it really difficult. So superpower stuff is like hyperfocus, incredible. So like just the ability to get like so locked in, you forget to eat, sleep, 8 hours pass, and you're still in flow, which is huge. But caveat, it's only for things you're deeply interested in. And
yes.
So every job has like things you're incredibly interested in, and then admin and emails and like
the not fun stuff. I guess speaking of superpower stuff, you are one of a few Aussies I know working on longevity. I guess, is ADHD under longevity? No, it's like more biohacking stuff.
ADHD like technically is like, I think like a cognitive executive function. I think it used to be considered a developmental disorder.
Yeah.
Then like around 2013 we started recognizing, which is that adults actually have it. Before then it was like, oh no, it's just kids.
I would argue it's slightly longevity oriented, given you have much higher likelihood of crashing a car, for example, if you have ADHD. I think you die earlier as well due to like the impulsiveness and risk taking. But you're also, I think it's something like 30% more likely to have kids due to the impulsivity, and so in some sense it is like a evolutionary advantage.
Totally. And then I think also that thing that ties it into the longevity space is that it's very heavily prefrontal cortex related, and that's the area of your brain that's responsible for obviously focus, memory, impulsivity, but then like memory where cognitive decline happens, like all of our higher order executive functions, like we separate humans from animals. So when it comes to like enabling those frontal parts of our brain to, you know, last as long as we'd like to last as humans, like this is the area that we're interested in. So I think that a lot of the ADHD research and brain data and things that come out of that will be applied in longevity as well. So they're definitely
it's been something that I've been trying to crack for a while personally. When I took the superpower test, I initially was trying to figure out what are the biomarkers I need to fix to improve my focus. I found that my testosterone levels were low, and I was like, maybe if I fix those, my like drive and focus will improve. And they did to an extent in the sense that I had more energy, but I wouldn't say I had more focus. And that's the thing about ADHD, is you can have a lot of energy, but it's just very hard to channel that.
It's like, I think of it kind of as like a regulation issue. So it's not that we can't focus. Obviously we get both extremes. Hyperfocus, 8 hours, forget that everything else exists, and then like inability to focus on the other side, and like we are either one or the other. There's no like middle ground. And I think what kind of separates us from people who don't have ADHD is like we spend time on both either extreme, and most people spend the majority of their time somewhere in the middle. And that doesn't exist for us. And there is no like middle ground to focus for a person with ADHD. So
the world is very designed for middle grounds and consistency. I think it would be a lot more ADHD friendly if we were able to just exist on those extremes.
Well, and that's why there's so many founders who have ADHD, because we're spiky people, and like we're used to exist like being whether it's the top or bottom end of something, like that extremity, and that a bit like ability to like, I guess you have a sense of comfort in the like extremes, whether it's like we're so interest-based, like we're by nature obsessive.
How impulsive are you?
Like that. Listen, I'll tell you that with age, I've like improved my impulsivity.
What do you mean with age? You're in your 20s.
I mean, like, I've internalized, I don't know, when I was a kid, I used to like throw my body around, I have like scars everywhere. But yes, so like I learned through like hurting myself to stop and think. And then I've also like internalized my mother's voice being like, stop, you're gonna hurt yourself, don't do that. But no, by nature I'm pretty impulsive.
Yeah, same. Yeah. In what ways are you impulsive?
Good question. I think, like, back to that superpower thing, I think when you're aware of your impulsivity, it can be a benefit in that, like, I'm quick to have a gut instinct, or like when it comes to decision making. And it doesn't mean I always make instant decisions, but I almost like have an instant gut feel that's really strong and I can listen to and then go, okay, I know I'm impulsive, so I know what my answer is, but let me like see if I can arrive there different ways, or like, and I think it kind of helps you to eventually like trust. You build up a sense of trust in your own like intuition and like impulsivity. Do
you design your life around your ADHD at all?
Completely. I think that's also a huge luxury. Like that comes down to like I'm a founder, so I'm working on my special interest, the thing that I think is the most interesting, the thing that gets me to hyperfocus all the time.
I love how you called it special interest. You've been on Reddit for too long.
Fully. Like, it's the thing I'm obsessed with, so like, this is the thing I can focus on. And it's being like, it's constantly super dynamic, everything's changing. I get to have 1,000 tabs open, which is where I thrive. I also prefer high chaos, high stress, like, environments.
Yes.
If things are too chill,
I'm admin.
Bored. It feels like admin. I need to be like cortisol elevated constantly, heart racing. Like that's when I'm like happiest. So
then founder is definitely the right role for you.
Yeah, so it works for me, and then I can like set my own hours. So when I'm like in hyperfocus, I'm going to take like full advantage of that and just go for like 12 hours nonstop, and then forget to eat, sleep, and I can do that. And then like the next day I can sleep if I need to, and like not have to worry about traditional 9 to 5 hours. And so that really helps. But on the other side, most people aren't in that position. And so that gets to the downsides of ADHD, like where for your job, you need consistency, you need to hit deadlines, you need like, I think like when you set your own deadlines, it's more like a fun challenge. When someone else is setting your deadlines for you, that's when like it's like anxiety producing. And like, I think the 9 to 5 is where people with ADHD like struggle, but it affects 10% of the population, and a lot of us are going to be in 9 to 5s, and that's where like you need like extra help.
Yeah, definitely agree.
Do you set your whole life up around ADHD?
Yeah, I think largely so. For example, I struggle to focus and sustain eye contact for long periods of time just because, what was the expression you used? With the fairies?
Off with the fairies?
Off with the fairies. I think
That's
I'm
a very Aussie saying.
Yeah, I think I like it. I might take it. I think I'm pretty off with the fairies.
Yeah.
Driving helps a lot with ADHD just because like the environment's constantly changing.
Yeah.
It gives me enough stimulation where I'm not bored.
Yeah.
And the other thing is from a like sleeping habits standpoint, exposure to light, I think is a big thing Huberman talks about, and just being able to like have light constantly in my eyes, know when it's dark, know when it's sunny outside, helps me a lot. I think a lot of people with ADHD don't really have a sense for the passage of time, and the closest natural indicator of where we are in the day is sunlight.
Yeah, time blindness is huge.
Yes, not good. The deadline thing has also been a challenge, because I don't know, when you're self-imposing deadlines, say you get really in the zone and you're doing something that is productive but not necessarily the highest urgency task, you can't just context switch. So I never know whether to keep doing what I'm doing or to like stick with the original plan that I laid out.
Yeah, I often like have to be very honest with myself and be like, am I like procrastinating right now? Because you can tell yourself, like I can easily tell myself like, oh, this task that I'm actually supposed to be doing is not what I want to do right now. I want to do this other task, and like tell myself that it's still productive and still the most useful thing, where it's actually like sometimes that's true, but like 9 times out of 10 it's me justifying like not doing the thing I want to do. And so like I think part of like the way that I personally manage my ADHD when it comes to like a mindset point of view is I'm pretty tough with myself. Like my internal voice is like a taskmaster.
What does your internal voice sound like?
It's like, cut the bullshit. This isn't what you're doing. There's one, like, it, like, I'm like, 3 things have to happen today. And I know that every day, what 3 things have to happen. And then those are the things that have to be done. If I don't, I'm like quite into myself. And so I think that, like, that's not, is that like the healthiest thing to do? No. But is that like a thing that works for me? Yes.
It's healthy for the business and it creates shareholder value.
Honestly, I've been like this like, since I'm a kid. I think, I don't know if that's like the right advice to share, but no, it's like, cut the bullshit, this isn't what you're supposed to be doing.
Got it.
Get on to the other task, suck it up.
So, just to sort of paraphrase, your advice to people with ADHD is to hate themselves.
No. Honestly, I don't think you have to have ADHD to do this. I think, I think it's just like so many people, this is gonna come across so badly. This is what I honestly think though, but I think that so many people like ask themselves how they feel all the time and like decide what they should do based on how they feel.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's not always a good indicator, because some days you're not motivated and sometimes you're tired and some days you aren't in a good mood and things happen outside of it. But like every day, like there is a you make a commit. Like I don't know, we have like really big dreams and we want to make something happen. We have a commitment to that. So every day, it doesn't matter what you feel like, you're gonna get up and do the thing.
Yeah.
Like fuck how you feel, do the thing. And so this is an ADHD advice.
I think I need you in my headphones like when I wake up. Like fuck how you feel, just get to work. You have big dreams.
Yeah, it's only gonna. That's the only way it happens. Nobody gets there by asking how they feel. But this is not my ADHD advice. This is my. I
think this is a very California thing of like the whole like healing thing. I was like, why am I? Hold on, guys. We have things to do. I don't have time to heal.
There's an Australian saying which is have a teaspoon of cement and harden the fuck up.
That's very Australia core. You have like the gritty. I mean, you send a bunch of prisoners to the middle of nowhere, they're gonna have that type of advice.
Yeah, I mean, my parents are South African immigrants as well, and so
okay, double credit.
Yeah, their work ethic is crazy. My dad's been telling me to toughen up since I was like really young, and like honestly, that works for me. And like I know that this is like probably pretty controversial, but as someone with ADHD who both needs routine to thrive and cannot keep a routine to save my life, like this sort of like no bullshit tough love does work for me. But I also don't know if it's just like I was born into that, and so I don't know any different. Like I don't know, like sort of coddling, like it's okay, how do you feel type of thing. Like I don't know that, so I don't know if maybe that would have been better, but it worked out.
How do you build the culture in the company?
Good question. I sound like a nightmare to work with. No, I think something that's really cool is me and Damien met at university, and so it's like this amazing time where you get, and we were nerds at university, so for us university was this like amazing time where we get to be creative and just follow our interests, and we were building all different types of tech. Like we met at a Latin dance society event, which is, and we're into engineering school, so it's all like autistic people doing like Latin dance and trying to part the dance but not look at each other's eyes. I'm like,
that sounds so ideal.
It was so like everyone's like we're touching, like I'm touching a stranger. But I was dancing with someone and like completely talking at them about like the intersection of neuroscience and technology and how it would change the world.
Yes.
And this poor guy's eyes were glazed over. But Damien was dancing next to me with someone else, and he like started like being like, I really like that stuff too. Can I talk to you about it? And he was like, dude, can we swap partners? And we swapped. And then he was like, I want to learn more neuroscience. And I was like, I want to learn more. He's an engineer and physicist, and I was like, I want to learn more engineering and physics. So we're like, all right, let's pick a project, let's build something, and we'll skill swap. And so we bought electronics, got it shipped over from China, started building stuff. And so because we kind of created and started working together in an environment that like had no constraints, it was all about following your creativity, intellectual curiosity. I think that's come through in the way that our team works, because Damien and I used to stay back at university, like with a huge group of friends working till like 3 a.m. every night and just like hanging out and working. And so we really learned, and Damien's incredible at this, more than me even, is making doing hard things like incredibly fun. Like he has this ability to make anything a joke, even when it's like a whole team is back at 11 p.m. like working on a hard problem to a deadline. Like somehow the later it gets, the more like unhinged the jokes become and the more fun we have. So I will say, like, our team, and I think we also attract people who are like us. So our team is full of people who are a little bit like us, in that they're like, you know, kind of like hard workers, no nonsense vibes. Mostly immigrants too, to Australia.
At what point did you decide to immigrate to the US?
So I actually just applied for my O1 like last week.
Okay, congrats.
So I haven't
100 pages of hell to...
Yeah.
God damn, bro. A little bit of road rage.
Okay, just a little. This is why people with ADHD have an increase of car accidents. Calm it down.
Happy.
Deep breaths.
Deep breath. If only there was a device to like reduce my impulsivity and make it such that I don't behave this way.
Yeah, this is a good time to widen your road.
That would be nice. Okay. My cortisol levels just shot up. I should cool off. Okay, so back to what we were saying.
Yeah, I can just keep telling you about my team stuff, which is basically, bunch of immigrants in the team as well. Like, one of our team members is like came from Russia to Australia when she was like 12 and had to learn English from scratch and be here on her own. So she's like super incredible.
Double immigrant.
Yeah. Lots of that.
I guess you are too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think something that I really love that we cultivated in our team is like this friend, like we're all love being around each other. We're all like low ego, really, really curiosity driven. And then also no bullshit. Like people in our team do, I don't know how this like flies in the US, but people in our team will call each other out on shit all the time, be super direct in the way that we talk. There's like no like apologizing for disagreeing or having different ideas. There's very much like best idea wins culture.
Yeah, safe but direct is the right place to be.
And because I think as well, like humor can cut so much. It can like you can, when you have the relationship, you can have a lot of humor and a lot of like you're constantly laughing and working like in a friendly way. It actually creates like this space and safety to be very, very direct without it feeling aggressive. And so I think that we have like a really good balance between direct communication and then like softening the vibes with lots of humor.
This is actually an Australian thing. Very prone to banter, I've noticed.
Yeah, constant banter in the office.
All right, make me a better driver. How come you get the bedazzled one?
Do you want the bedazzled one?
I mean, I feel like it's only...
Okay, let's do it. It's only fair.
Yeah, you should let me pick.
Which?
I want the bedazzled one.
Okay, obviously it's fabulous. Okay, so...
This is the Paris Hilton collab one.
Yeah, Neurode X Paris.
Yes. I love this one.
All right. So cute.
Is the one that I ordered going to be bedazzled?
Bedazzled? No, but you can do... What color would you like to bedazzle your headband in if you were going to? False advertising? Do you want a refund?
Let's see if this works. If it works, then I can have the executive function to bedazzle it myself.
Yeah. Alright, so let me pair this. I'm going to turn the headband on.
Can I please have a jailbroken one where I can stimulate my brain as much as I want?
Not on camera.
Okay, so explain how this works.
Right. So basically, in here, we have a bunch of sensors. They use light to measure your brain.
Okay.
So we have 152 channels. It's called near-infrared spectroscopy. Basically, have you ever looked at the back of your Apple Watch and seen the lights flashing?
Yes.
Or like your aura? Basically, it's like that, but stronger. It actually gets through into your brain. We use that to make like a really beautiful map of your brain activity, and we can deliver stimulation. And we're like, one of the algorithms we're working on is personalizing the stimulation because everyone's brain's different. And then here, with these little like gels on it, that's the stimulation pads, which is the part that boosts focus, memory, impulse control. And the goal, like the concept behind it is basically when you struggle to focus, if you have ADHD, even if you don't and you still struggle, your prefrontal cortex is less active than like a neurotypical brain. So goal is to boost that activity, and that's what we do. So you can do that obviously electrically or chemically. Chemically it's drugs, electrically it's what we're doing. Cool. So pop it on.
Cool. Alright.
Yeah, adjust, and we'll get you to just move all your hair out of the way. Yeah, perfect. Nice. That looks so good on you.
Thank you. It would not look as good without the bedazzling.
All right.
Alright.
So this is going to be a really good, I will do a single 20-minute session. We'll do precision protocol later. Okay, so we're going to check the fit, and you can see, oh, you know what the problem is with the bedazzled one? Is that you can't see that it's slightly off center. There we go. Cool. That looks good.
Cool.
So we're going to check fit.
I love the interface.
So it fits well. Now we're going to tag our focus activity. So what are we going to be doing? Like having a conversation.
Yeah, better driving.
While driving. Multitasking.
Mm-hmm.
How focused are you feeling right now?
3.
Okay. Now we're just checking. You might feel a little tingle. We're basically checking that. Dude,
you said this was a beta, not an alpha test.
Alright, ready to get going?
Let's do it.
Alright, so yeah, it does tingle, like very minimal tingle. You can ignore this for now. I'll set mine up.
I feel temporarily superior to you.
Well, you do it for the bedazzled headband, so you'll maintain your superiority.
I'm telling you, the bedazzled one improves focus more. I think it's something about the way the light reflects off the gems.
Yeah, there's this thing called enclothed cognition, which is the idea that like when you dress for the job, that you perform better in it. So like people who do science wearing a lab coat perform better than they're not, and things like that. So like people who wear bedazzled Neurode focus better.
I do strongly believe in this.
Yeah, this feels pretty minimal, at least to me. Like I've been using this stim for a while, so it's hard for me to tell what it feels like for a first person. But yeah, tell me what you feel.
No, it feels good. It's like a minor stimulation, just the right level so that I know it's doing something. I almost want it to hurt a bit more, so I know it's like,
you're like, yeah, pump it up.
Really
the degree of sensation does
into...
not influence the degree of improvement. Like so many of our users are like, can we like turn up the stimulation even further? I'm like, it's not going to be more. If it hurts more, it doesn't work better, even though. Okay, so like technically what we should be doing while wearing the headband is work.
I wonder what it would feel like to meditate while using this.
A bunch of users do.
You know the whole atomic habits thing of like chaining your habits to existing things that you're doing?
Habit stacking.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this feels like it would be, if I'm already thinking about my focus and my brain health, if my impulse is just to meditate now.
Do you meditate regularly?
No, I don't. But this feels like the type of thing where I'm like, yeah, I should meditate now.
And I think meditation has been like, especially mindfulness-based practices have been really helpful for people with ADHD. So maybe you'll gain a Neurode and a meditation habit.
That would be
when
great.
your headband arrives. We could do a 5-minute meditation if you wanted.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
One more time, breathing in through the nose, and as you breathe out this time, if you haven't done already, just check.
Network error.
All right.
It was nice while it lasted.
Yeah, we can. Nice. You know what I was thinking about while meditating? Wait, what were you thinking about?
I was thinking about, actually I'm going to show you. So I have these like peptides. I have a bunch of peptides for focus that I have in the car that I can show you.
All right, so.
This is my focus box. So I have, actually this is my friend's company, shameless plug, Zest, which are these like caffeine pills that you take.
Okay, love caffeine.
Right before you sleep, and they take 8 hours to dissolve, and then in the morning you're caffeinated.
See, I like to wait at least an hour after waking up before having caffeine.
That's the better way to do it, I think, but also sometimes I just can't wake up. I want to just wake up.
True, if you want to wake up on time. And so it's a liquid that you swallow?
You inject, actually.
Oh, wow.
So,
crazy.
Yeah, I did So it's
So like
actually
this is the actual GLP-1 for focus.
yes. So I did a cycle. So there's two. There's one that comes from cow brain and one that comes from pig brain. The pig brain one goes harder. I guess pigs are more similar to humans in a lot of ways.
Right.
But I've done one cycle of injecting like the cow brain peptide. Yeah, I found it to be pretty effective. It just doesn't act instantly, so you don't really have something to benchmark it against. And then I was like, okay, let me try this like pig brain peptide and see if it hits.
You know what? I'm so interested for when you get your Neurode, because not like we're stimulating our brains right now, but at the same time we're measuring our brain, and we've built these ML models that actually can predict the degree to which your ADHD is affecting you that day, or basically just predict how focused you're going to be that day. And so, if like obviously we're looking for improvements in focus from Neurode, but you can also measure improvements in focus from anything.
Okay, that's really cool.
So now you have something to benchmark all the stuff off.
I'm super excited to
like
try
your brain,
this.
when you start Neurode, and then whatever you try from there.
And then maybe I'll be more organized and I'll know
Yeah, where all these things are.
these things are instantly.
So what I was thinking about during our meditation is that I was thinking about what I was saying about being like hard on myself and internally being very like structured, and I actually fully reject the idea that that's like bad. That's like objectively a bad thing to do. Like everything is like I think I personally respond well to that, and there probably are other people who do as well. Like being like gentle and sensitive is the right thing for some people.
I see where you're going with this. Add a Pavlovian model to the Neurode that shocks you when you're not doing well. We're on the same page.
No, I'm just saying, like, I was like, oh, I sound like kind of an asshole. And then I realized, no, like, I'm like, and I'm like a person who cares a lot about health and well-being and all those things. And actually, like, it can look different. Like, it doesn't have to be, like, being, like, healthy and thinking about well-being doesn't have to be this thing that's, like, super gentle and, like, or, like, flow. It can be look like that for some people. But I also think that, like...
Why do you think people like berries?
True. Those are where my people are.
Yeah.
I've never done berries before, but maybe I'll go there and like find my people.
Yeah, you need a little bit of tough love.
Yeah, I'm that kind of person.
Yeah, definitely same.
Yeah. Also,
but I'm also sensitive, so
I'm also sensitive, but
yeah.
like the gentle just doesn't work on me.
Yeah.
Like if someone's like, "Don't worry, you're fine," like however this shows up is totally fine.
Then I will show up in a way.
I will not do it.
Yeah.
I'll be like, "Cool, I'm not showing up at all."
Yeah.
That's like a fast way for me to not do anything. So the tough love works for me, and I can be like happy and healthy and also like brutal.
Yes.
How focused are you feeling now?
I'm not exaggerating, I feel pretty dialed in.
Nice. So we started at 3, where are we at right now?
Like an 8 or 9.
Nice.
Yeah.
Go for it. So this is like some of the brain data visualizer that we can do.
That's smart.
Yeah, so basically red is high levels of brain activity, and yours is going to be elevated a lot more red because we just stimulated your brain. So expect a lot of red. But then blue is very like blue is low activity, and then greens and yellows are in the middle. And then we can also like highlight different areas of your brain. So this is self and social thinking, which is our dorsomedial prefrontal cortex. We have dorsolateral prefrontal cortex for executive functions, which is like super red right now. We have the ventromedial prefrontal cortex for emotion and risk integration. Ventrolateral prefrontals are memory, retrieval, language comprehension, and inhibition. And then this is our occipital, or orbitofrontal, which is for reward-based learning, cognitive flexibility, priorities, all that good stuff. So that's pretty cool. And then, yeah, you can just see that fluctuate.
Ooh.
Yeah. And on the one that you get, it'll track your head, so when you move your head, it'll...
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I love these little design touches.
So then, like, if you're specifically interested, like, let's say you're interested right now, like, what is this? Self and social thinking.
Yeah, how good is my self and social thinking right now?
Like, let's think of something that would do that. Like, tell me how are you feeling right now?
Calm, focused, happy.
Cool. So like it was pretty blue, and then as soon as you started talking about it, it went red, and then like you stopped, so it went off. Pretty crazy. Okay, let's do like, what's this one?
Selection.
Memory retrieval. Where did you go for your last holiday?
Hawaii.
Nice. Cool. Yeah, so like the cool thing is this will be recorded, so I'll show it to you. And then if we waited long enough, but like we don't have to do this. This is like some of our ML stuff. So we have like an embedding space here where we can record your brain and then say, but I have your brain data anyway, so I can put you on this later. And basically we can predict.
What are you going to do with my brain data?
Well, we're going to feed it back to you in all these insights and cool things. So you like learn
No.
about
What can you specifically do with my brain data?
Specifically do with your brain data? Well, it can be de-identified, and we use it for these models. And so this is a task prediction model where we can guess what you're doing without you telling us.
Nice.
By like clustering, like
So
brains that are learning look different to brains that are relaxing or working.
So now I know when to keep it on.
We can also do a really fun thing, which is tell you if your brain looks more like a CEO, CTO founder, engineer, scientist, sales and marketing person, or finance.
Oh, so it's going from...
What's so cool is that this is basically saying, this is an embedding space. Like, I guess I'll show kind of what this looks like. But it's like a 3D embedding space that basically says that brains of engineers and scientists tend to cluster together. And they just have clustered this way. Brains of marketing people cluster over here. Interestingly, founders cluster right between scientists and marketing people, which is pretty cool. And then VCs and finance like fully separated. They don't like look like anybody, except maybe some of these VCs used to be founders, which is kind of cool. And then this is a more like clinically relevant model, which basically tells you about like how much Neurode is improving you based on your own baseline that we set up. And then we can tell you like how focused you'll be each day.
Wow.
Like, predict your focus levels.
This is so cool.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for there to be an API to take some of this data. Actually show you something. So I exported, I guess I don't have my phone currently, but actually it's on my website. So I took my 23andMe data, took all the genes that may be associated with ADHD to see what particular ADHD genes I might have.
Oh, interesting.
And then came up with this like theoretical mini circle based gene therapy that would target a specific gene for improving my focus. So the DR4 gene, and then came up with like a simple, cheap protocol for how you would create the first version of this and then use off the shelf lipid nanoparticles, which essentially are the way in which you would encapsulate the plasmid and deliver it. And yeah, I'm excited but scared to try it. I kind of want to.
Wow.
I don't want to do it.
You should try that on like not a human first. Like, I don't know. Have you found any like risks of like? You've been taking like a bunch of these different like peptides and things. Like, I guess those have gone through quite a bit of research. Have you?
Yeah, I guess we'll see. Like, the nice thing is they are transient, so shouldn't be permanently integrating and modifying my genes negatively. But I'm trying to be careful with the level of experimentation that I do, while still pushing far enough that I'm covering enough.
Well, I feel like all the best scientists through like history have been trying things on themselves. Like you're first. I mean, first Neurode was on me, and first stim sessions we did were on me and Damien. So this morning I went into a cafe and asked a random person like, hey, I bet I can guess what job you do based on your brain data. Like, are you down to let me do that? And he was like, hell yeah. And so I recorded a video.
Holy Riz. Holy Riz, Nathalie.
And so, yeah, it was really fun. We got to test it.
Actually, never mind.
What?
No.
Look at that impulse control.
Yes, wasn't that good?
Yeah. Real time, watching you go through like all the potential.
Yeah, I actually impulse controlled my speech. I never do this.
We're impressed. It's Neurode live in action.
Wow, I'm feeling
unstoppable.
You know what I really feel like doing?
What? No.
Stopping at that red light. Waiting.
Oh my god. Pray for my life.
Checking.
Pray for me, guys.
Adding my turn signal.
Yeah. Amazing.
Being a law-abiding signal. 10 o'clock, or no, 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock.
Yeah. Beautiful.
does feel like a 10-kilogram weight has been taken off my back.
You know, I often say that, like, living with ADHD feels like you're just like everyone else. We have the same goals. We're capable, like, and honestly, they often really associated with, like, high IQ and things like that. But you're climbing the same mountain, wanting to reach the top, which is, like, hit your goals with all your friends. But you have a 10-pound or 10-kilo backpack on. And so you can do all the same things, but it's much more exhausting and takes so much more cognitive, just like mental load and effort to do the same things. So one of our goals with Neurode was literally to take some of the weight out of everyone's backpack. So
22 pounds for
22 pounds, 10 kilos out of the backpack. So how long have you been in SF?
I've cumulatively lived here for, I want to say 3.5 years, but I've bounced around. So when you asked me when was the last time I went on vacation, I've only ever traveled outside the contiguous United States when I was an adult once. But before that I used to travel a bunch, so that's something I want to do more of. But as a result, I've just been traveling more within the US. So I've done a couple years in LA, a year in New York, a few years in SF, and yeah, it's been cool.
Alright, so let's settle the New York SF battle once and for all.
Yeah, there's no battle. No. New York is, okay, if you think about finance, finance is largely about investing in the technology and the media industries. Like, those have been the industries that have dominated the S&P 500 over the past decade or two. So it almost feels like it's just piggybacking on the West Coast, and the spoils of the West Coast allow New Yorkers to live such a beautiful, like, quality of life that's, like, very cosmopolitan, and it's sort of what you do with money, but it's not the core experience itself. So while I enjoyed New York from a hedonistic sense, I don't think I felt as much adventure and purpose, and long term I'd rather have more of that than just more vague pleasure.
I spent a bit of time in New York. I do love New York. And, like, I love the food, I love the people.
Same.
And I like the intensity. Like, I am an intense person, or so I've been told. And so I like that there's just, like, this sense of, like, go, go, go in New York. And, like, when I was, we have investors in New York and SF, and when Damien and I were doing a bunch of work out of, like, when we first came to the US, we were working out of our investors' offices for the first, like, month in both places. And I noticed that in SF, we were by far the last to leave the office every single night. We would leave at, like, not even that late, like 11 p.m., right? And everyone had left at, like, 6, 7. So, like, because they, like, have lives. They were, like, going to do their yoga and going to do, like, whatever it is they do. In New York, we're, like, the last to leave usually at, like, around 11, but there was at least felt like a community, because it wasn't just us that were leaving at 11. Like, a bunch of people were leaving late. And so it felt again like that uni, like, I guess that's just, like, gave me that university vibe that me and Damien, like, have kind of grown up having.
I guess the difference,
like, everyone's late working, this is fun, let's, like, grab, like, a 6 p.m. coffee, like, we're all gonna be here for another 5 hours, like.
Okay, but I'll push back. The difference is in SF there is no leaving work. Like, there is no we're in the office. It's like,
it's true, because after work everyone was like, oh, it's 11, let's go grab dinner. And then we're like, in SF it's like, nothing's open at 11. Are you crazy? We're home to sleep so I can work tomorrow. Yeah, true.
And everything here is, like, very integrated with your work, for better or for worse.
I actually agree. I think that's very true. Like, here everything is set up around work, and so you cannot be at work and be working.
Very true. Yeah, even if you're just going for a drive, it could indirectly be work.
No, this feels like fun. This is all fun.
Not mutually exclusive. That's where it's a double-edged sword.
That's true. That's true. Make the most of this focus we've got going on. Honestly, all of our uses of myself.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is that the strategy as you scale as well?
I mean, first of all, I have the calls, like, come on. Like, our users are so good. You're in the chat, like, everyone's so funny, everyone's so cool. I'm like, I want to be friends with you all.
That is an epic group chat.
Like, honestly, a user just, like, randomly, like private texted me from the chat and was like, hey, I'm going to this event later. Do you want to come? I was like, this actually looks like a really cool event. And I went and I had the best time. It was at it was over in like Berkeley, and it was the first time I got to hang out with like the whole like rationalist side. I know like everything's there's like EAC and rationalist things going on, but like I got to I've met a lot of the EAC people.
Autistic people are not a monolith.
Well, like there are like people who are like self-proclaimed like EAC people,
yes.
And then like I feel like I got to see some of the old school EA people over in Berkeley in that environment. It was actually really cool to see. Why are you giving me the cringe face?
No, it's
tell me.
It's just crazy to me that like when you say EAC people, there's specific like accounts in mind and people that like associate those.
We all know who we're thinking of. Everybody knows. Yeah. But who do you think about for EA?
This guy Jeremy Nixon, who runs a hacker house called, I guess it used to be called Genesis, then Neogenesis, then AGI House.
Yeah, I know those.
Working on a company called Omni, which is some form of like archiving library software.
Okay.
And then, I guess I also think of Sam Bankman-Fried, who I only saw once, but
no, I have to say, like, this was really cool. It was I don't know if you know like the Less Online and Manifest.
The Less Wrong or Less.
It's like less. I think it's the same idea as like Less Wrong with the blog and all those things. But it's a conference / meetup. I don't know really what like a meetup or event called Less Online, and a bunch of really awesome like bloggers and writers go. I didn't go to that, but it looked amazing. But there's another one a couple days later called Manifest or something like that, and that's the event I went to, and it was actually like so many like incredibly interesting.
One of the things I think about is if I could fully rewire my brain, would I get rid of my ADHD? And I think that's why people on Reddit get so worked up about it, because calling it a superpower dismisses the fact that it's a very difficult thing to deal with.
Yeah, absolutely.
But also not calling it a superpower almost frames it as a disability, and for a lot of people it is an advantage. And so one of the things I thought about is, would I get rid of my ADHD if there was just a button I could press to make it go away?
Would you?
No, because I think we are entering a time where it is more advantageous to have the benefits of ADHD than ever before. For example, even having ChatGPT means I need very minimal executive function to write something or to help answer a text or whatever it may be. And the necessity for creativity is so much higher. And so I'm hoping that we go to a time where, as the friction between wanting to do something and being able to do it decreases, then people with ADHD are more cognitively advantaged. In a similar way where we've seen people with autism be very good at highly technical, high friction tasks. If these highly technical, high friction tasks get abstracted by AI, then a different type of neurodivergence may become more advantageous.
Time for our ADHDists to rise to the
ma'am.
top of the food chain.
Yes, ma'am. It's about damn time. Could be wishful thinking though.
Yeah, honestly, I think, and there's also like a really high comorbidity between autism and ADHD, and people are both like,
this is true.
Killing it. I think I have also thought
charts like autism, ADHD, one more thing, and then the intersection is just cracked.
Exactly. No, I think I wouldn't undo my ADHD, even if there was no AI coming or AGI. But I actually, like, that was actually a really big like impetus for Neurode, which is I don't like taking meds. I've tried a bunch of different medications, tried therapy, tried all the different things, and nothing ended up working for me, because either it like got rid of, like with meds, getting rid of almost all the parts. So I tried different meds and all these different things, and I found meds to be like so overwhelmingly like powerful, almost in a bad way, where it actually, I was not better at doing work. I was super focused, but in a way that I also couldn't control, where it's just like tunnel vision. Yeah, and like it got rid of all of the benefits of having ADHD, but it didn't like fully bridge the gap of the downsides. Like it was, yes, I could do admin, but like at the expense of like actually feeling like my work was high quality. When I would go back and look at the work that I had completed on ADHD meds, the next day I'd be like, this is trash.
Yeah.
Like one of my strengths is being able to like take in a huge amount of information, synthesize it, and then like add onto it and form new and interesting ideas based on what we know. And I'd go back and look at my work and be like, there's like nothing original and interesting in this. I'm just like regurgitated something. And so when creating Neurode, what I really wanted to do was something that made it easier to control my focus and not just like force function my focus into like this kind of like really narrow field. And so I wanted it to be boosting focus without the side effects. So you can still have hyperfocus, you still have your sparkle and fun personality that makes people with ADHD so idea generative and like unique and interest driven. I didn't want to just like
ADHD
become like a
meds
shell.
kill the sparkle.
Yeah.
It's the first thing they do. It just flattens your personality.
All the
kills your
joy
empathy.
goes from life. Like we are like
harsh.
super bright colored people, and then you just go black and white.
Yeah.
Which is really boring, and that's why we were so idea generative. So what I wanted with Neurode is to keep all the fun and personality and idea generation and creativity, but actually make doing like the admin or the things that you struggle with easier. And so I hope that's what we've done, and I hope I think that that's what we've done for our users. Is keeping all the best bits. And so now hopefully it won't be controversial to be like ADHD is a superpower, because I get all the best parts of myself and I have this tool that manages all the downsides around like impulsivity and focus and things like that. So
yeah, the way chemically that a lot of these meds work flattens a lot of the upside of ADHD and come at a very high cost socially as well. I find a lot of the things that keep me healthy as well get destroyed when I'm on any form of like hard ADHD stimulants, whether that's, you know, even on Reddit you'll find people talking about their hygiene going down, they have like hyperfocus in a negative way where it's actually not very
like they're focused on the wrong thing and then they can't get out of it.
It increases impulsivity as well.
It also just has these crashes, and then it's like a vicious cycle because sleep is so important for focus, and your sleep is trash, and then you need to take it to like wake up the next day and feel the same level of energy because you're so depleted from like the side effects. For me, it just really wasn't worth it. But like thinking back on what you're saying around like AI doing so much stuff, like I'm actually going to do I'm really keen to do brain measurement, use Neurode for brain measurement, like someone answering a question using ChatGPT versus not, and seeing the brain activation differences. But
did you see the MIT study?
Yeah, I did. I want to actually do like a little study review of it, which I do sometimes, but where I just like review research papers and like do the TLDR for people who don't want to read it. But I want to see if we can replicate. But what I was saying is that I actually think that like in a post-AGI world, like understanding the human brain becomes more and more important, because we really need to kind of double down on the things that humans are uniquely good at, like you were saying, which like ADHD people are particularly good at, but all humans are good at, which is like strategy, decision making, like innovation, creativity, novel thinking. Because I mean that's like one way in which we have a strength over AI as it is today. And so I mean, who knows how it'll like heaps of things to talk about on how it plays out, but I think even just in the way that it is today, those are the things that really matter. And that's why I think the prefrontal cortex as a brain area, so this area is so interesting. One, because it's where ADHD and focus and memory and all those things exist, but two, what we're doing with Neurode is essentially modulating those areas, so being able to boost the performance of the things that make us humans uniquely strong. And so that's useful in areas like ADHD, but it's also useful eventually, we think, for everybody to be able to boost those things. And so if you have the ability to improve your brain's executive function or cognitive capacity by 20, 30, 40%, like that's going to be a game changer for anybody.
Absolutely.
And then
the second order impact of that is unimaginable.
Yeah, huge. Like across like so many industries. And I think being able to influence those areas of the brain to more and more specificity is something we're really interested in, and that's why we take our like brain sensing so seriously. It's because we are like, one of our missions is to build the world's largest brain data set so we can actually probe a better understanding of, like, it's crazy to me that we don't understand how our brains work. Like, we literally have like rockets being caught on chopsticks, and it's like, oh, how does our brain, our operating system, the thing that influences everything we do, even work? Who knows? And so that's like one of the mysteries of being a human that like we would love to solve, and like ultimately one of the things we'd love to do for humanity is provide humans an understanding of their brain, and then obviously an ability to improve it. And so yeah, I think like in the backdrop of AI, I think these things like become even more interesting and even more like important and timing wise important.
What do you think are attributes that make people most human?
I think that's interesting. Like, I have like an intuitive answer and then probably like a more thought through answer. And I think like intuitively things that feel like empathy and like love and deep care and like the thing of like missing someone, or that like sensation, or worrying about a person that you care about, I think all feel really human, or just like the desire to do good things for just the sake of the world, and like this constant like drive to improve ourselves. I think this like desire, this sense of curiosity and like desire to like learn and understand ourselves, each other, the world around us, like I think that feels very human, just on like an intuitive level. What do you think?
I think resilience to rules is a very human thing. Like this desire for freedom and expression, and the parts of being a human that are very hard to control. So the fact that we have murderers and people that climb to the tops of mountains, and people that like dedicate their entire lives to making art, people that are like willing to watch people get like shot in warfare and then perform like medical rescue on them. Yeah. Those types of
like the desire to dedicate your life to doing something as well, like the idea of like being an artist is basically dedicating your life to making people feel something when they look at something you made.
Yeah, I guess self-determined purpose is a pretty human thing.
Yeah,
the ability to feel pain and react on that pain is a pretty human thing.
Like emotional pain.
Yeah.
Inaccuracy. Self-control is a very human thing.
The need for there to be self-control is a human thing.
Yeah.
And I guess you could bake all these things into a machine as well, but it feels simulated versus organic.
Yeah. I guess it comes down to that, like, the sense of being that, like, I guess people talk about, like, qualia in consciousness research or things like that, which is, like, the experience of experiencing.
Yes.
That is very human, but also impossible to detect in anyone else other than yourself. Although we have the sense of being able to.
Yes.
Maybe we can. Or like, who knows? Like, it's just like they just say that you can't, and in a sense.
Like, how come I can feel that a human I'm talking to is conscious, even if I'm texting them, and I don't feel the same way with a computer yet? Like, I'll know when a computer's conscious when I just know that it's conscious.
I wonder if it's like some degree of like object permanence. So like, you know the person you're texting, you know the human attached to it. And so when you're texting them, there's a representation of them in your mind. We don't have a representation for what AI is.
Interesting.
Like, we know, we're like, oh yeah, it's these algorithms, and like we can understand how like large language models and transformers work, but there's like a bit of a, I don't know if it's like conceptual like leap between an intellectual understanding and an experiential understanding. And so like I think with like a lot of concepts, and it's something that makes physics people so brilliant, I think, at least and me not one of them, is that like I often like really benefit from an experiential understanding. And I think at least I think maybe thinking about Damien, my co-founder, is like he maybe gets to the degree of an intuitive experiential understanding without having an experience, or at least it seems he does. But for me, and for probably most people, like we don't have that concept. We can probably understand the idea of like the way transformers work or the way large language models are built.
Which is actually a critique I have of Silicon Valley culture, of this idea of reasoning from first principles. There's a reason we don't reason from first principles. And I think that type of thinking will increasingly be more important. I guess reasoning from first principles it can be a creative way to think about the world, but there's there's a reason you can't like reason from first principles your way to emotional resonance, right? Or you can't, it's difficult to create art as you reason from first principles. And so I wish the tech world made more room for anti-rationalist thinking, and because there's a space for it, there's value for it. I just can't quite put it into words.
Yeah. I can definitely see a creativity even in first principles thinking, because even in these like highly technical fields like physics, people have different theories and they've all used first principles thinking to get there. And so like a constant debate me and Damien have is the relationship between like the brain and the sciences, because we're using like so much science is based on observation, which is using our brain and senses. And so like it's a fun like philosophical debate, but I think even first principles thinking can be really creative, because what seems like rational to one person may not be what's rational to another, and which is why we even from first principles will probably sometimes arrive at different conclusions.
This could be like 30 hours long. I guess we'll wrap it on this.
Yeah,
it was such a pleasure. Take care.
All right, let's do it.